Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust, episode 552. Starting off with a bit of a delay, thanks to Wolfie here, deciding to just pant instead of woof woof. You need to woof woof to start the episode. That's right, I wait for Wolfie to woof before we start the episode, and sometimes he takes quite a while like that. But that's all right. Because we've got quite a ways to go. As he's pushing us, he's like, well, I've been waiting for you. Yeah, well, I've been waiting for you, my friend. We've got quite a long ways to go to those far lands. Here in episode 552 on a Saturday, January 16th, 2016. That's a creeper. That is indeed a creeper. Oh, he's going to blow up. Ah. Okay, that's fine. Everybody calm down. We're just running around here and trying to find a simple way. I wanted this skeleton residue. Ooh, look at all this skeleton residue. Don't mind if I do. But, all right. We only have room for one companion on this trip, Mr. Creeper. So we're just going to keep on walking. Yep. Have fun. He found a beach. He's so happy he found a beach. Beach, 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 beach. Wow, he's just jumping there forever. Yep. This is like when you're behind somebody in the left turn lane and your turn signals synchronize momentarily. Except I think this is going to happen forever. Well, unless Wolfie's like, all right, we've made the joke. Let's continue on. And we will continue on. Like I said, Saturday, January 16th, 2016, up to $21,069. $69. All right. Raised for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com. Trying to reach $60,000 for Season 6 here of Farlands or Bust. And I appreciate the continued support. And the continued support for Child's Play charity, obviously. Helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. The support for Farlands or Bust and the questions given during those donations, with those donations, give me things to talk about, topics for which to discuss during this long, nearly unending journey to the far lands of Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, the last version of the game that included the far lands, which is why we continue to play in it. Ooh. And it's also, I guess another reason is we're enjoying all this neat Minecraft beta terrain generation that we don't get anymore in the current versions of Minecraft. Wolfie, I sliced. Whoa! Alright, perhaps this one. Get sliced! Get Wolfied! There we go. What was I saying? I was saying something, but now I forgot. Oh well. Because we're continuing on. We are continuing on indeed. Oh yeah, the terrain generation. Neat little features like this. It's either in the current versions of the game, if there's a hill, it's a hill biome, so there's gonna be a whole bunch of hills. But like this is just completely random. And there's a little hill over there, but just right here, just a little hill. Just because it'd be a nice place, It's not overwhelming, it's not imposing or massive. It's just nice little hill. Nice place to put a house on top of or something. Enjoy the scenery. Have a little quaint abode, if you would like. Or, like me, you just see it, mention it, walk by it, never to see it again. That's the way we play the game. Indeed. So, what's new? I'm recording this on a Friday. And this morning I woke up and there was a spacewalk happening on the International Space Station that had to be canceled mid-spacewalk. They were like 4 hours into the spacewalk. They had already done their primary task to restore some sort of power something or other on the external portions of the station. Two astronauts, both named Tim, which is very confusing. And one of them started to experience a water leak in their helmet, which happened before, and that right there, just the mere mention of water in the helmet was enough to trip the the safeties, the very strict safety standards of any spacewalk, and a return to the airlock immediately. It happened before with, I think it was an Italian astronaut, Luca something. He's Astro Luca on Twitter. I'm not 100% sure of his full name, but water started to pool and fill his helmet almost, and getting in his eyes and stuff, and mess with his ability to see, which is a huge problem. And essentially, these spacesuits have water cooling, if you can think of it like water cooling in a computer. They have water cooling that goes, it pipes cool water around the astronaut's body, and then there's obviously like a radiator or a little circulation thing going on, and there was a leak in that, I guess, and it started to enter the helmet. There's also a drinkable water source, but I think it was the coolant water source that caused the leak, and still not sure. Yeah, the astronauts, both the Italian astronaut back in 2013 and the astronaut today, are totally fine. It was a non-emergency cancellation of the spacewalk. Ow! And, everybody returned fine. They took samples of the water and measured the water. It was a lot less water than there was in the previous occurrence, so they'll investigate the problem there. But yeah, there's a seal or some sort of problem where it would start to pool in the helmet, so much so that they now wear actually water-absorbent pads in their helmet, and they also have a snorkel in case any really sort of disaster were to happen and the astronaut couldn't breathe. There's now a snorkel in the helmet that an astronaut could breathe through if it came to that, which is a weird thing. You go to space, do a spacewalk. You don't expect to drown, but there's so many moving parts and complications and very intricate dangers, inches outside of the spacesuit, and things can happen. But everything's fine there. Like I said, they achieved the objective of the spacewalk. Normally, when they put an astronaut outside on EVA, it's not just one singular task. They're like, well, since you're doing this, that's the main objective. We'll get that over with first. But while you're out there, we do have a few other things. So they normally add to make it worth the time to be out there. But yeah, kind of interesting stuff. There was definitely they have cameras on the mission control Houston, but then also cameras on the astronauts and stuff. And mission control, there were, a lot of people were standing up. There's definite anticipation and nervousness there. Maybe not nervousness, but just, this is not a nominal thing. Let's get this situation handled. So there were a little bit of heightened awareness going on there. They got everything figured out. Figured out indeed. Also this weekend on Sunday, I believe, SpaceX is going to be launching out of California their last Falcon 9 of the old design. The latest Falcon 9 that launched and then landed back at Cape Canaveral was a newer design, the version 2. This is the last of the older designs are going to be launching out of Vandenberg on the west coast in California. And they're actually going to attempt, even though they've obviously stuck the landing back at home, back at the landing site, they're going to attempt once again to land. All right, I need to get off. Speaking of hills, I need to get off this hill safely. They're going to attempt to land back on the floating barge. The floating barge they're going to attempt again. Whoa! Dang it, Wolfie. that was quite the fall there. Ow! As was that. Finally took that half a heart. Oh, there's the other half. Oh my god. What's going on? We're not sticking the landings, that's for sure. Let's get over to this kind of open beach here. Let's sit Wolfie down and feed him to get his health back up. I don't think I have anything to feed myself. Yep, there you are. Have a seat. Yeah, you. Boop. Let's keep an eye on my hearts. Make sure I don't accidentally eat these Wolfie treats. I didn't. All right, so let's make an elevated hidey hole. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it, but an interesting launch again for SpaceX to see if they can land on a barge. Which could be interesting for that first stage, the old stage of the Falcon 9. But yeah, there's some space news for you. Let's go to sleep, and in the morning we'll continue with donor questions to Child's Play Charity. And awakeness. And a continuing onness. Now we really need some pigness. We need some pigness because we're out of pigs. As you can see, we're out of pigs. That's a chicken. Yep, you're a chicken, not a pig. So here's a question from Jinglestog. Jinglestog asks, I know you're not the biggest of racing fans. I like racing, I like cars, but I'm not like actively following series, I guess is what you mean. You're not the biggest of racing fans, but if you could go back to any race in history, what would it be? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't. That's what I enjoy the idea of racing and stuff, but I don't know anything about like the history of racing or great races of all time or anything like that. So I'm going to bow out of that question just because I don't have enough of a breadth of knowledge to know any good races of the past. But the next question here I can answer. Maybe you've shared your opinion before, but what is your opinion of Keurig coffee? Those little cups, little predetermined cups of coffee. Horrific tasting cup of joe or decent way to get your fix quickly? Well, the problem with the way that question is framed is that you're talking about getting the fix quickly. I don't drink coffee for a fix. I think I mentioned this in the last episode. I don't even think, or maybe I just I'm dead to the effects. But I don't drink coffee for like energy. I mean, if I don't drink coffee, then yeah, I'll probably get tired in the day earlier, you know, at like 4 p.m. or whatever. I might feel a little bit lethargic, but I don't need coffee, like, oh, I need my coffee. It's more of just kind of a nice kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Practice, not habit. Not habit is the wrong word, because then again, that sounds like the fix thing. It's just a routine. It's a nice routine. Doing a little bit of like chemistry there in the morning, and it's more for like the taste and the to have a hot beverage in the morning is nice, and yeah, it's less about getting my fix. So right away, you can probably guess my answer. If you are just getting a fix, maybe it's fine, but overall, it's a terrible cup of coffee that you're getting. You're I don't even know how it theoretically works. Isn't it like a liquid that's in those cups? It's like a concentrate. A coffee concentrate that then gets water passed through it and into your cup. And it's old. It's like pre-brewed-ish, isn't it, sort of? And or not. I don't know what it is. I would not recommend. And now, of course, they start to use DRM so that you can't use third-party cups in the latest coffee makers. They use like a DRM system, and it's not a company I would personally support. And I don't see how it really saves anybody any time. It's not, you know, you can have, oh well, maybe I just want a cup of coffee and not a whole pot. Well, then get a small pour over, a small Hario pour over. You could do you could literally, it's a cone that you put literally on the cup that you're going to use. You got your ground beans, and you just pour water through it. Takes about 3 minutes, and there, you're set. If you just want a cup. So yeah, there are many cheaper, many more higher quality options, and I could not do more to Ooh, to dissuade. That guy just popped. To dissuade everybody. Oops, I ate that. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I'm back up to health. Dissuade folks against using those Keurig cups. I mean, filter regular drip coffee out of like a coffee maker is probably better than Keurig things, and that's still a little bit below the quality you can expect elsewhere. Am I a coffee snob? Maybe a little bit, not too much though. But yeah, I would not recommend such things as those. I mean, even if I haven't tried it, but there's also the AeroPress, which seems interesting. It's almost like a travel type of thing that you can make. Almost espresso out of it. It comes out really strong, doesn't it? But I've never tried that. I've only made via the French press, which is a strong cup of coffee. French press. Then I did the Chemex until I broke it, and then I went to the Hario pour over V60 spirally thingamabob, which is pretty much very similar to a Chemex, but a little bit different. And that's what I've been going with lately, and it's been working out all right. All right, Indy. Actually, this reminds me, I do need to order more coffee. Dang it! Ran out. And now I need to order more. I have like a backup bag of like grocery store coffee, like the $6 stuff you find at the grocery store. Not very good, but it's kind of my, I'm out of coffee. I need to order some from somewhere else, and it's going to take a few days. It's going to take a few days because pink sheep. Got a little bit of a pink sheep dry spell there. The pink sheep. We've been making signs for the pink sheep. Oops. So don't mind if I do. Episode 552 on 1/16/16. Where are you going, pink sheep? Don't hurt yourself. Pink sheep of 1/16/16 episode 552. What should we? Keurig bad. Very bad. We've got some anti-advertising going on here in the Far Lands of Bust world. All right, let's grab this. If pink sheep's wool, history has proven that we get 2 wool each pink sheep. Ooh, this guy, that was a wise investment. 3 pink sheep wool there. Yeah. Good times indeed. I have no idea why I'm collecting the pink sheep. It's become a compulsion of mine. Let's also get some white wool, I guess, while we're here. I'll make sure the pink sheep fits in with his friends and comrades. Yoink. All right. I also need some planks as well, I've noticed. So we'll see the next. That tree over there is kind of big. Let's see the next smaller tree we can chop down. But yeah, Jingle Stog, thanks for the donation to Child's Play Charity. And the question? This one from unnamed donor, anonymous. What is your favorite space movie? Oh, this would have been a good question to answer last episode when I was talking about movies. My favorites, The Martian, Interstellar, Apollo 13, all the Star Wars, and then Hitchhiker. Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite. Definitely The Martian for like realism. Definitely Apollo 13 for historic realism. Interstellar was good, but that I don't feel. Yeah, I don't know. That was like less. There was a lot of space obviously going on, but it feels like that was less about the space and more about the saving the world and the time travel, the wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. So maybe. Europa Report. Again, for like realistic near future space travel, but also just like a really well done storyline, especially for such a low budget kind of independent sci-fi film. Definitely Europa Report. Moon was pretty good too. Moon was one of those kind of different space opera type of thriller type of thing. Moon with I've forgotten his name. Was like the only actor in it. So yeah, Moon was pretty good too. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say like 100% this one top of the list is my favorite. Because that's not something I do. For those of you who ask questions recently, or frequently, excuse me, or have been around, that what's your favorite type of pizza? Finding favorites is I don't play favorites. Everybody is okay on my list. So yeah, neat stuff indeed. Woof. It's a Pink Sheep episode. Pink Sheep episode. Let's go through here. That was fun. Going through the tunnel. Good times indeed. All right, let's make an elevated hidey hole here. Ooh, I'm running out of dirt as well. Elevated hidey hole. Let's also let's get some of that dirt that I doth require. And sleep away the night. And continue in the morning. Boop. And boop. Ooh. And awakeness. Wait, which way am I facing? The compass. Pay attention to the compass. Woof. Wolfie agrees. And a compassness. Compassitude. Spoiler. Whoa, that's a big old tree. It's like got 4 main branches coming off of it. I can count. So what else do we got here? Scooby asks, what are your thoughts on quantum computing? A wonder machine that will improve the way of life? I thought that was another pink sheep. It's a pig. Or a highly unstable, possibly black hole-inducing desk ordainment. I don't know much to anything about quantum computing. I could have perhaps looked up the Wikipedia article or something beforehand to try to understand it, but I don't know. I'm all for pushing technological envelopes. I don't think we're worried about quantum computers causing black holes or anything, are we? It's not the same. The CERN super collider scare about it creating a black hole that's going to envelop the Earth. Not possible. So yeah, Wolfie knows. Wolfie of all people knows. But yeah, I'm assuming it's just like a way to have crazy, infinitely fast and powerful computers or something, right? Perhaps you'll have to let me know in the comments. You can educate me a thing or two about quantum computing. I know it's all very experimental and non-existent yet. I see headlines every now and again about, this company or this or blah, 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 this science place or whatever. Science place. Science place. Is this much closer to making a quantum computer or blah, 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 blah. Quantum resistors or capacitors or, I don't know what all goes into it, but I don't see why we wouldn't explore that sort of stuff. There's only so far and so small and so much that standard materials that go into current computers can go. I'm sure there's I think one of the articles is that whatever that rule is that says computing doubles in speed every so often. I think that's actually slowed down and not been true the last decade or so. There are limits to, whatever size nanometers a processor thing can get or whatever. So I don't know if that quantum computing, is that what that addresses, is the size situation. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I've never looked into it. I mean, I know that's kind of terrible of me as somebody who's doing this commentary, podcasty, question-answery thing. But maybe it's also a good thing. I'm letting you know that I don't know. It's okay not to know. It's okay to know and whatever, but yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard the term before. I've seen those words in that arrangement before, so you got to give me credit for that. Oh man. But yeah, anyway, thanks for the donation and the very technical, you give me more credit than I deserve, I guess. Question there, Scooby. The Quiet Nerd, again, now asking about favorites, almost falling into there. Do you have a favorite exoplanet? If so, which one and why? No. Also no. Because I don't know, we don't know, and nobody knows much about them other than, say, their size, their star, their orbit, habitable zone or not. The majority of the time, we can't even tell if they're solid or gaseous planets, specifically the ones that are lower mass, Earth-ish mass ones. So, and also they're not really named. They have weird names based on the star they're around, so like HD-487-A or B, or well, A would be the star, so B, C, or D, or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's the things that make the headlines, like, oh, astronomers have found an Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone, and the Goldilocks zone of this, and it's Kepler 487b, whatever it's going to be. But, like, we really can't tell. Like, we really can't come to definite conclusions just based on what limited information we have. Certainly larger telescopes, more equipment, space telescopes, ground telescopes that can start to further define these objects would be great. But yeah, I don't even know. I couldn't even, like I said, I'm just spouting off numbers. If any of those numbers meant anything as far as exoplanets were concerned, I assure you it is completely accidental. I don't have any exoplanets struck to memory. But it is a very, if not one of the most interesting areas of scientific astronomical inquiry in the last 10 years, 15 years even. 20 years ago, the mid-90s, we didn't have any proof. We didn't have any way to detect. It might have been early 90s. Yeah, I'm not sure when the first exoplanet was discovered off the top of my head, but, within my lifetime, we've gone from having the only planets known in the universe being the ones within our own solar system to now we have thousands and thousands and thousands of exoplanets around other planets. We can see the stars that are forming. We detect their planetary disks that will eventually coalesce into actual planets. We can tell the size. We know how many are Earth, quote-unquote, Earth-sized, within 2 or 3 masses of Earth. We know which ones are within potential habitable zones of their stars where liquid water could exist. So it's a complete, within even my little blip of a span on the Earth, have gone from 0 to, 7,000 or whatever. I imagine in another 30 years what sort of stuff we can figure out. So yeah, that's certainly one of the more interesting, to me, areas of scientific exploration, knowledge, and whatnot. And perhaps these quantum computers can do a better job of finding and classifying these objects out there. Am I right or am I right? Right. Oh, man. Speaking of planets, an anonymous donor asked, ethically speaking, do you think preserving the natural environment should take precedence over our development and use of planets and moons? I've addressed this before. It's kind of a tough one. I see the argument with Mars, since we already know that there's been liquid water and favorable environment on Mars. We don't want to go, certainly before we have a chance to sift through and try to find these perhaps what could be living organisms currently, or the evidence, the fossils of them. We don't want to go messing that up, because that's that's another very important scientific thing to understand, is how, how common life is in the universe. Being able to find it right next door would certainly tilt the scales in the other direction of what we currently know. So yeah, for that, I don't know if that's what you mean by ethically speaking. That's kind of scientifically speaking. You don't want to contaminate the lab, I guess. The lab being Mars. But at the same time, alternately, let's say we come to a determination, yes or no, on that front. Would colonizing, to the degree of even terraforming Mars or another planet, cause ethical quandaries? A lot of people might say, oh, well, it's not a natural process. Mars lost its atmosphere and has been this way naturally before man was even a thing on Earth, so we don't have any right to go and change Mars to another Earth. But then again, there's the argument that I personally subscribe to that, well, sure, we're humans. We tend to put ourselves like above nature, like we're something separate, but we are a product of the natural processes here on Earth. We are, to the extent we are made of star stuff, and we are the universe becoming self-aware of itself. So, isn't the colonization, the exploration, the perhaps potential settling of other worlds a natural process in and of itself, of an organism from one planet to another? So that's kind of what I subscribe to. But yeah, we would certainly want to not contaminate any of our potential science leading up to that point. As for the moon, I don't think the moon has anything to give us on that regard as far as life and whatever. I think we there's always stuff to learn, but I think we kind of got a pretty good lockdown on what the moon is, how it came to be, the role it played in Earth's formation. So I certainly could see the moon being a good place to test the colonization, the long-term stay. We obviously can't terraform the moon, but we can set up some space tents and space labs and long-term housing, I suppose, affordable housing, and set up a nice real estate agency. So yeah, moons, our moon in particular, I would be all right doing as we will there. Other moons, your Europas or whatever, your potentially inhabited or past habited moons. Who splashed so much? Is Wolfie? Did I sit down, Wolfie? Oh, it's chickens. Did I sit down, Wolfie? That's a sheep. Yeah, I did. All right. Well, Wolfie's fine. It's these dang sheep. Let's give Wolfie a little bit of space there. All right, back downstairs. Dang sheep. You're trying to count the sheep to go to sleep, not get splashed upon. Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. Also, at the same time, we don't want to use the potential habitability of another planet as, like, an excuse. Well, we don't really need to take care of our planet, because Mars is right there. We could turn that to Earth or whatever. No. I'm pretty sure Earth, for the distant and perhaps forever future, is going to be the one place where we can really exist. So maybe we should take care of this. And these other places might just be colonies, extensions. There should always be a focus on preserving this planet from whence we came. And from whence we came was 552 episodes ago. Well, 541 episodes ago, technically, since we left on episode 11, our spawn point here in Farlands Bust. And I appreciate you for following along for however long you've been with me on this journey. Keep going to farlandsbust.com to keep donating to Child's Play charity. Trying to raise that $60,000 goal, at which is when we finally hold the Flobathon live stream celebration, where I finally press F3 to find out how far we've walked in this season, and then we continue on, as we do. So thank you so much for watching. Everybody have a good weekend. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Keurig bad. Very bad.